Hey everyone, welcome back to week 2 of Academic Mindsets, the new psychology of success. Just a quick roadmap of where we've been and where we're going. Last week we looked at chapter 1 and the TED Talk from Carol Dweck, just looking at what is growth mindset, what does it mean, and what does it mean to us as we looked at the pre-assessment and just kind of seeing what our own thought patterns are and where they lie with respect to a growth mindset. Um, Now in week 2, and you'll notice the dates are hopefully correct now, we're examining the role of praising effort over outcome. And so that's going to be the focus of today. And then you've got the rest of the weeks outlined here. The DW on the top are just suggested readings for the week that I'll push out as well. So as I said, we're examining the role of praising effort over outcome. Our success criteria will be using language techniques to enhance student mindsets by highlighting effort and strategies over outcome. Another awesome resource to check out is Opening Minds Using Language to Change Lives. This is a really helpful resource for this topic, and so if you wanted to expand it a little bit more, check that out. So take a moment, think of a specific time you praised the student. What was the scenario? What did you say? As you reflect on that, just think about how do you use praise in general. I also want to introduce you to this website, trainugly.com. They have tons of awesome printables and really cool stuff that's ready to go, ready for action. You don't have to do anything, and they call it the Growth Mindset Playbook, and it's definitely a playbook that I draw from quite a bit. This is something that you could post in your classroom. And it's a really nice diagram just outlining what is fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. Fixed mindset meaning that you have innate qualities and you're basically born with gifts that you either have or you do not have. A growth mindset says it's something that you can learn. If you don't know it, you haven't done it yet. And just focusing on failure as an opportunity or growth. This is also in the resource page right below this video, so you can check this website out. It is fantastic, and there's tons of printables for your classroom. So we're thinking about a time that we praised a student, and just to build on that, Carol Dweck framed her TED Talk with how can we build the bridge to yet. And so we're focusing on not praising intelligence or talent, but praising process that students engage in. So, my go-to is always, good job, great job, nice job, and this comic, is reflecting on it's always good. It's always good dog, never great dog, never really specific feedback. So specific feedback develops grit, rigor, and resiliency. It's something that doesn't happen overnight, and we need to practice, and so that's what we're going to do. There's an assignment coming up that you will definitely be practicing this. So we've been defining what it means to have a growth mindset and sort of validating it, trying to see if it's something that would fit in with our understanding of the world, assimilating it into our practice as educators, integrating, and hopefully transitioning towards the end of this course and making it work for you. So the other video that you're going to see underneath this one is from Train Ugly, and they just really outline this whole praising effort over outcome really poignantly. So take a look at that video after this one. As far as the article goes for this week, I just wanted to point out that you're going to have this research says discussion. It's the article jigsaw. You select an article, really just select the one that looks the most interesting to you. You can follow the guidelines for what discipline you have, or if you're just attracted to one, just go for it. And then you're going to respond to your article in the adult learning reflection. And then in order to avoid doing something twice, you're just going to take your adult learning reflection, 2 of the prompts from it, and post it into the discussion. And then we'll just use that as our discussion board just to make sure that you're not having to do something redundantly. And so we're going to capture the journal and the discussion in one fell swoop. This is what the articles look like. So there's a couple different ones. And then you're going to use that in this adult learning reflection where you just outline 3 key thoughts, one thing that holds square with your beliefs, one thing that caused you to reflect, and one that's going around and around in your head. So use this as your discussion. So you're going to copy 2 of the prompts that you choose into the discussion board and then respond to each other. Some examples of praise, going back to praise. So instead of using great job, you could say, I like the way you kept trying even when the problems became harder. Instead of saying, I'm proud of you, you went back to check your work. That extra step was a great idea. You got an A. Those extra practice problems you did really made a difference. So you're switching from something that's innate, you're so smart, to something that requires effort. The ideas you thought of are unique. What did you learn about that? Okay, there's another diagram that's included that's a little bit easier to see, and that's in your resources as well. So take a look at that as you start to consider using praise in your own classroom. I'm going to go over the next part of this assignment now, and so we're just going to switch into Copilot. Okay, the next part of this assignment it's just the first part. So it's under using praise in the classroom. You're going to capture an audio recording or a transcript of a dialogue that you had with a student using praise. So either way, if the audio is just not working for you, just write it down and submit. But there's an example here. The person who recorded this remains mysterious. It was my wife, and this was from a classroom that she had 2 years ago. So that just shows, she's trying to use different techniques. So trying to use some different techniques of praise. It could also just be a genuine conversation of what you would consider to be praise, and just capture that and upload it here. So you're going to go to using praise in the classroom. I'm going to click on that, and then so you guys are going to be in the submission phase, and it will show you start preparing your submission. You won't be able to post this until it opens up, which will be on next week. But when you take a look at it, when it opens, you'll be able to post your audio recording. The next phase will be an assessment phase where you'll be paired with someone, and you will be looking at how did they use praise and giving them feedback. So that's the second phase. So all you're doing is the submission right now. You're just submitting your audio recording or your transcript. That is all. So for the submission phase of this assignment, just remember to capture a 1 to 10 minute or even more time audio recording of a lesson where you are attempting to use the language of praise in your classroom. I would recommend you use a cell phone and either just upload it straight to the CEA app or upload it to a computer and just upload it to the assignment itself. So in Apple, you can use the voice memos found in the extras folder. That's what the icon looks like. In Android, it's just called the voice recorder. It's in your apps, and just record the conversation and then upload it. As you continue on in your journeys, the last thing I'd recommend is just focus on giving feedback on the process. Examples of effort, strategies used, student performance, or work product. All of those things will help give them a better idea of how they actually are doing and give them more of a growth mindset.